Welcome, everyone. I'm Kim Steinhauer, president of Estill Voice International, and I'm happy to be here with our Vice President, Mary McDonald-Klimek, for our latest certification update. We're here today because you, as an Estill mentor and course instructor with testing privileges, are the key to maintaining the intrinsic value of our Estill certification program. It's crucial that we continue to provide a universal experience to every person who enters a course and then continues up the Estill certification pathway. We have worked closely with our Estill Certification Advisory Board and are pleased to share the following updates that ensure the integrity, quality, and consistency set forth in the high standards of Estill Voice training. We know that our core value of positive, safe, and inclusive guidance will guarantee vocal empowerment for all who engage in every Estill Voice training experience. Good news, we are recording for your future viewing, so no need to go to the movies and see Star Wars. You can watch this again and again. We look forward to adding more at the Estill World Voice Symposium in London this August. And now to the slide, it's always evolving. The Certification Manual 5.0 was launched in May of 2018, and improvements were requested by you and the Certification Advisory Board. We now are going to have a Certification Manual 5.1 that will become effective August 11, 2019. Guidance will be available from our wonderful Corinne Mager, our Director of Operations. What was new in Certification Manual 5.0? We had the badges, the new EFP, EMT, EMCI. We had some clarifications, and we had, again, editing and expanding on our core values and practice standards. The board led, we had many meetings, we had suggestions that have led to edits to EFP, EMT voice print tasks. That's number 1 today. Number 2 today, new EMT and EMCI exams, yay. 3, clearer requirements for EMT and EMC observations. And 4, revised EMCI application portfolio process. Oh, special. EMCIs should reserve 1 seat in every course. I love this. This grew from the board. Any EMCI colleague who wants to observe and keep growing, we're offering them 1 seat in every course. And it's been wonderful. I already had somebody take advantage of that.
And so, my turn as Vice President of Voice International to where to find the manual in case you have not found it already. And so where is that manual? Well, there are 2 ways to get to it. One is through Get Certified, and Get Certified on the website will take you to the Certification Manual and Certification at a Glance download. The other way is to go to your My Trainer Center at the top of the homepage, and in the drop-down menu, you will find Resources. If you're in Resources and you click on Certification, it will take you to three subcategories and descriptions: manuals, preparation, and testing. We're looking for the Certification Manual. It's obvious. We go to manuals. And so here you'll find the Certification Manual and the Certification at a Glance translated into English, it started in English, French, German, Italian, and Spanish. This is a reminder here that the Certification Manual refers to the Certification at a Glance for information about the minimum fees at all levels. Minimum exam fees are reported that there are minimums here in the Certification Manual. When you go to the Certification at a Glance, you find exactly what those minimum exam fees are. Your turn, Kim.
Thank you, Mary. Update 1, EFP and EMT voice print protocols. There will be a lot of discussion at our symposium on this as well. Voice print testing protocols. Applicants must perform hand signals simultaneously with all options. Applicants must choose still a pitch, an A, a C, or an E octaves for all tasks except for song segments. And Estill quality scales can be sung ascending or descending. Estill siren can start and end at any pitch. And guess what? That is correct. 1.5 octaves for both the EFP and EMT, noting that we do expect a higher level of siren for the EMT. All examiners should use Estill VoicePrint Plus 7. That is now for PC and Mac. All of the protocol now matches, so it's good news all around. What is in there? EFP, number 15, high, mid, and low tongue, no compressed for the EFP. EFP 18 and 19, the options are separated for consistency. You might have remembered the arrow where we to connect. And EMT, there's the compressed tongue back, and there's the 7-part figure. And in workbook, the second editions, we now have a suggested advanced option in tongue called compress. It's still there.
This takes me to carry you on to the updates in the written examinations. As of August, we will have 2 new versions of the written exams for EMT and EMCI. All exams and answer sheets will be available in English, French, Italian, Russian, and Spanish. Both EMT and EMCI exams will contain questions from the certification manual. This is an example from the EMT. And another friendly reminder that it's okay to use the current exams now. These new exams don't come online until August. The new exam contains written questions and scoring rules for the oral figure demonstration. Some of you may have already found this document, Level 1 and 2 Figures for EMT Exam, Figure Demonstration Question, English. What you will see in the next few screens comes from this document. Translations are in process. We're not going to read through all of this because we have the key points on the next screen. So here they come. As an examiner, you may choose both figures for this question in advance if you would like to. All of the figures are in this PDF document. Here are 2 sample pages from the PDF where you see velum and jaw from level 1 and falsetto and sob from level 2. If you want to cut them up and fold them up and have them drawn from a hat, you may. Some people like the adventure of the truly random drawing for the demonstration. It's up to you. What is new is that the Estill VoicePrint Plus must be included in the demonstration. This is new. Scoring guidelines will have been set now so that if the performance on the figure demonstration portion of the exam is the only thing that prevents a pass, you can re-administer and retest the figure demonstration by itself following the first exam. So there's separate scoring. Let's see what's next. Study guide preparation. Here is what appears in this. No, this is that, never mind. That was the key points. Here we go. Study guide, figure demonstration, study guide preparation. This does not appear in the study guide. I don't know why I have that title, but here is the figure, level 1 figure question. To identify the options and describe each by its action, prompts, hand signals, and effort locus. Demonstrate the entire figure as found in the level 1 workbook or figures in a flash. demonstrate the exercises that appear after the steps of the figure, demonstrate one step of the figure or its options with Estill VoicePrint Plus using the spectrogram display, and explain what we hear in the voice and how it correlates to what we see on the spectrogram. Here, this is the level 2 question. Demonstrate the entire figure as found in the level 2 workbook and discuss experience and locations of effort required to produce and sustain the quality. Using Estill VoicePrint Plus and the spectrogram display, record the quality using a comfortable vowel and pitch, explain what we hear and how it correlates to what we see. Using the same VoicePrint example, mark a moment in time and change spectrogram to power spectrum. Explain the difference in display and what we can analyze and observe. This is from the study guide. Here's what your EFPs going now to prepare for EMT will see. They will know that they're going to be provided with copies of the 2 figures, and they will know that they should be comfortable running the program and adjusting the displays from spectrogram to power spectrum with and without resonant analysis. They are also warned here that this question that they will not be required to demonstrate with Estill VoicePrint Plus until August, that this is coming attractions. So where will these new exams be? In testing. This is in the drop down once again from my trainer center, resources, certification, testing. We will have the EMT exam sets by language organized for easy access. While we're sitting here and looking at this screen, alerting you to the inclusion now of common problems, male and female, new sets of recordings that are available to you in resources. These can be used at any time. As you see, they appear below the figure demonstration questions. And Kim will be talking about the observation feedbacks in just a moment. EMCI exams and study guides are coming soon. They will be translated into French, Italian, Russian, and Spanish. Both will have certification manual questions. I meant to call out that the exam B is an entirely new exam. We've had only exam A in the past, which makes it a little awkward when you need to do a second exam. So that's what we have. Remember, using our current exam now is not a mistake. Certification Manual 5.1 will be effective on August 11th. All right, very good. Kim.
Update 3, EMTC and EMCI Phase 2 observations.
Sorry, distracted by the
That was our planned background music. Observation, key points. Must be observed successfully teaching, that's EMT, or presenting each element once. They must be observed in courses and may be observed in private sessions, and must be observed by more than one EMCI. This has been working out quite nicely and adding to our, again, reliability and validity of our observations. From the observation packet summary of the 26 elements, Mary has been kind enough to give us numbers to all these. We used to have ratios, a third, a half. So now at least 6 level 1 elements and 3 level 2 must be observed in the context of a course taught by an EMCI. And 4 figures and 2 qualities must be passed by 1 or more EMCIs other than the primary observer. We are tracking now. We all had a different strategy for tracking effort, power, pitch, attractor states. You know, they were in that. We all had our again, own plan for doing it. Now we are more and more standardized. You will get credit for EVT principles, effort, power, pitch, attractor state, and it's earned by reinforcement and including those concepts in session to session. You'll see in a sec. Official mentors are responsible for passing the candidates. So you may have 2 or 3 observations from different EMCIs, but the mentor will pass off the candidate on these elements after, again, adding up their conclusions. There's that feedback form. I'll say it a couple of times. The observation feedback form is the same form for the EMTC and EMCIC. You would just use different parts of it. So you don't have to copy a different form for a different candidate. You see the set, you recognize the key. We have accuracy and connection and effectiveness. That's how you pass a figure. We have the elements, they're the same. And look at the highlighted red asterisk row of effort, power, pitch, and attractor state. So if you observe a candidate and you see in their group, oh my goodness, they mentioned effort, they had a wonderful tie-in to pitch, then you can check this off on their observation form. Also, we now have, did they meet the hand signal and the voice print requirement? And also, we have signed this. I have reviewed this feedback with my observer, so you sign it and give them a copy as well. You see the other red box? You can reread that. EMTC credit is earned by recurring reinforcement of the concepts. That refers to the effort, power, pitch, and attractor state. All right. Transcript instructions. Okay, so you have an observation form. How are we going to follow and track everything? You know, there's a form for that. There's the transcript form that you use for tracking. So it corresponds to the feedback form, and you as mentor will, again, check to see that the candidate is carrying this from course to course, and that you are adding up their and observing their passes and their not pass yet on their observations. It looks like this. It's not that scary. This transcript right here, and we see that the EMCI was Mary McDonald-Klimek on April Fool's Day, and it was no fool. We had effort. So she was looking at one of her candidates and noticed that effort was passed 3 times, power twice, pitch not yet, and attractor states 1. She noticed also that the candidate did not pass onset offset in that observation on that course, but they did pass false vocal fold. So you can see at the top, it says who's the EMCI. C versus O is other setting. So you have the course setting for the C and the O for the other, and then put your date. Easy to follow, easy to track. EMCIC observations, we have 28 elements. Must present at least 2 level 1 and 2 level 2 courses, and at least 4 figures and 2 qualities must be passed by someone other than the primary mentor. Here's the form, same form, different circles. So you have a circle for EMCIC. We don't have effort, power, pitch, attractor state because guess what? Those are in the elements taught. And that asterisk, we were just kind and we don't, again, not for the EMCI candidate. And don't forget to sign and share with your candidate. Here's the transcript. Again, Mary was observing an EMCIC at a course. And as you can tell, level 1 intro is in that list now. So the list of all the elements for EMCIC are now in the first column. And we see that pitch, true vocal fold, onset, offset. They didn't pass yet pitch, but they have another opportunity soon. Oh, and Mary.
Okay, and so the Certification Advisory Board has been following up on our CCI meeting in Quebec City, where we spent quite a bit of time discussing how to assess the suitability of EMTs wanting to pursue becoming EMCIs. Guidelines and process are becoming much clearer. So, prerequisites, the EMT must be active on the site and leading practice groups on courses. They must have experience teaching Estill voice training as seen in their curriculum vitae and support of an EMCI testing privileges mentor and at least one other EMCI who fills a reference for them. Here are the components and practice components: curriculum vitae, Estill Voice Print Plus, EMT inventory, letter of intent, and the 2 reference ratings from EMCIs with just 2 reference ratings from EMCIs. Where is that reference form? It is in resources. And when you go to certification, you'll find manuals, preparation and testing, in preparation, because that's the EMT preparing for pursuing EMCI. And so here's the reference rating form for EMCI applicants. It's a link they can forward it to. It's accessible to you as EMCIs. If you have trouble finding anything in resources, use the search. This little square right here to the left of search results, I've put reference in, and when I search for reference, I go right to the reference rating form for EMCI applicants. There we go. The process, continuing with the process. The Certification Advisory Board President notifies the EMT applicant and the EMCI TP mentor when all the materials have been submitted. Based on our experience running the first 2 EMCI application portfolios through the process, the board quickly came to the conclusion that we should promise quarterly review, not within 30-day review of these application portfolios. So we will be in the manual, these dates will appear as the quarterly cycles, guaranteed quarterly cycles. Any portfolios submitted by January 15th will be reviewed no later than February 28th. And so that's how it will go. And both mentor and applicant will be notified as the process is ongoing. Each application will be reviewed by 2 application reviewers selected by Estill Voice International, EMCI with testing privileges or above. These need not be EMCI TPs sitting on the Certification Advisory Board. We need to open it up to other EMCIs. What happens if one of your mentorees, you're sitting on the board and one of your mentorees applies? You need to recuse yourself. And so we need to make sure that it's not restricted to board members. This is a time-consuming but incredibly important process. Each reviewer will independently evaluate every component of the portfolio and take notes. So that's, each will review all of the voice print files, the curriculum vitae, the letter of intent, the references. So that each one reviews that. They meet and compare notes. If there is consensus, they proceed to write up their recommendations and hand it on to the Certification Advisory Board President and Certification Operations Director, that's Corinne. If consensus is elusive, they approach the EVI Certification Operations Director, and then we will review what's in question and process through. So that's the assessment of the portfolio. We bring this to you now to invite anybody to volunteer and participate in this process. It is incredibly important, and we need volunteer EMCI TPs who are willing to serve. As backup, let me know if you get in a pinch and you need an independent person to assess a portfolio. Or you might say, I could do this when I'm on break from university. So you could also volunteer to rotate through in quarterly cycles. So I think that's it on that. Here are the summary of what we've covered today. Edits to the Estill voice, to the voice print protocol tests for EFP and EMT, the new upcoming EMT and EMCI exams, the clearer requirements for EMT and EMCI observations, and the revised EMCI application portfolio process. We will be reviewing and expanding upon this on all of these updates in discussions during the EMCI meeting following the Estill World Voice Symposium in London. Information will appear in resources in advance of the symposium. Where? Resources. And if you're looking for something in particular, don't forget to use the search function in resources. We thank you for joining this webinar today. We are always evolving. The Certification Advisory Board and EVI team appreciate your participation and feedback. And EMCIs with testing privileges, please don't forget to take the quiz.